You all see. Welcome everyone to the Spring 2022 School of Architecture, Art and Historic Preservation event series. I'm Steve White, I'm the Dean, and I welcome you all. And I'm here only briefly to, although I'll be here for the lecture, I'm here to introduce Ruben Alcalea, Associate Professor who has been leading the event series beginning this semester. And it's a great opportunity to also thank Nate Fash, Associate Professor who led the series in recent years. It's great that many of us all are here. The event series, as Nate kept us going through COVID and other events, had many events so that we had a place for ideas and companionship and community that we all appreciate about school or this school or the things we care about the most. And so I'm really appreciative of all the effort that Ruben has injected into the series and in getting us all together. So please welcome Ruben Alcalea. Thank you.
So good evening, everyone. It's a great pleasure to have the chance to introduce Carlos Enrich to our Roger Williams University architecture community and to give the start to this spring lecture series. This talk is sponsored by the Historic Preservation Endowed Events Fund. Carlos Enrich was born in Barcelona, as I was, and he has a degree and master in architecture at the SAB School of Architecture in Barcelona. He's currently teaching there, and he has also taught at La Salle, Reus, Tec Monterrey, Mexico. I think he also participated in several workshops organized by Columbia in several years. In 2013, less than 10 years ago, he started his own practice in Barcelona, of course, where he develops projects that cover a wide range of scales, from the domestic to the landscape and to the territory. His work has received consecutive nominations for the EU Mies Award in 2017, 2019, and very recently just shortlisted for the 2021 edition, among many other recognitions such as the Lisbon Triennale debut 2016, and many other awards. Carlos Enrich is opening this lecture series for the spring, and his talk is framed within the context of the exhibition we are currently having in our gallery, exhibition about the housing and urban design competition, Europan 15. I think it's worth to say that Europan is a very prestigious competition series, but it started more than 30 years ago. And it was meant to provide young architects the opportunity to rethink social housing with proposals which in many cases have been built all around Europe with extremely successful results. Carlos Enrich has been awarded in several editions, not only once, in the series. And for the last year, he was awarded twice, getting the first and the second prize in 2 of the proposals sites. I hope he will talk a bit about that too today in the lecture. As I'm sure you will agree after his talk, his work is extremely delicate, as well as sensitive to the environmental context. And perhaps more importantly, it is also extremely accurate to provide a response to the cultural context. Projects such as the Torre Merola or Espai Santa Eulalia engage in a nearly intimate and rich dialogue with historic buildings, widening that definition of the term preservation. His projects not only preserve the physicality of the preexistence, but also its character. Neither say that the soul of those historic buildings, in some cases just now pure ruins, are enhanced by becoming deliberately alive and inhabited again. By not being just frozen in time and with respect and extreme physical care, all those monuments are transformed and becoming architecture with capital A again. Carlos, it's a real pleasure to have you here today. I would like to thank you very much for sharing your time and work with us. And without further preambles, I think we could please join me in welcoming Carlos Enrich to the Roger Williams University. Thank you.
Hello. Good morning. Thank you, Ruben, and it's an honor for me to lecture in Roger Williams University. I'm going to go through some works, and I will start with this, making a link with this exhibition that I know that you are having at this moment with the European exhibition, but mostly I will go through some of the works that we have finished over the last years, and as you said, some works that cover these fields of architecture, from the domestic sphere and to the landscape. So since the beginning of our practice, we started our practice in 2013. We were just facing these very small commissions, mostly domestic commissions in Barcelona, refurbishment, renovation, rehabilitation of old houses or existing spaces. And we learned the value of the pre-existent. We also understood our intervention as a new layer that was put in a place, respecting the pre-existent and making this dialogue between from the old and the new, no? And as you mentioned, adding a new layer which enhances the pre-existent space. So at 2013, we started participating to European competitions. From 2013 to 2019, it was our last chance, because European is a competition for young architects in Europe, under 40. So I became 40 in 2020. So 2019 was our last chance to participate. And we were lucky, since we got 3 first prizes and 2 second prizes in these 4 editions. And I guess European for us has been a place to develop our first ideas of the studio, to develop these projects that some years later we have been able to build, no, in some other places, not from European commissions, but from other commissions. Also, European has also been an opportunity for us to be in contact with public administrations, since we won all these competitions. So we worked with this idea of reusing spaces, in the first edition, and then we work on the idea of introducing very small elements, like infrastructure elements that connect different parts of the city, reconnecting the city, showing history, linking the past with the future. Also understanding architecture as an infrastructure, inhabiting an infrastructure, proposing these very small pieces, almost as a furniture, inside of a big structure, an open structure, in contact with our climate. In Barcelona, we have a very soft climate, and since the climate change, we are proposing these exterior spaces in order to have this more, to improve the living conditions. So we proposed in this edition an infrastructure. It was like an open space, like a shelter. And then inside we had these little boxes in order to have like these rooms or these workspaces. And also in this last edition, we faced another subject that is very important for our practice, which is the relation of the intervention with heritage. So we combined the idea of heritage as an infrastructure and also introducing this new system of a structure, which is a very non-generic or non-specific structure of rooms, which can be used by different people, different users, etc. So we propose that the new layers, this new infrastructure, has to be something very regular, very clear, in contrast sometimes with a big monumental heritage. So at the end, these 4 editions of European has been like a laboratory for us to develop these first ideas of the studio. And I guess that today I'm going to talk about these 3 ideas or these 3 concepts that are, I think, that are the key for our work. It's the idea of building by subtraction, by the empty space, the idea of infrastructural additions, as I mentioned, just adding or inserting very small pieces that reconnect the city or to improve the existing conditions with very minimal operations. And then understanding heritage as an overlay, as a sequence, understanding history as something that's dynamic, not something that's static. Okay, as I mentioned before, building by subtraction, we started with these very domestic competitions in neighborhoods like Gracia. Gracia is one of the most densified neighborhoods in Barcelona. As you see, there's almost no green spaces, no greenery. It's a neighborhood with a very densified traffic, and also with a very old buildings, with a lack of light, lack of space, etc. So we had this commission. This was the first visit that we did on 2015. The commission was to improve the conditions of this apartment. This was a very interesting commission because we thought it was an opportunity to improve the relation between the street and this inner courtyard. We decided to understand the house as a sequence of frames, of empty spaces that would be like a passage from the city, from the street to the patio, in order to improve cross ventilation, lighting, and mostly the visual, in order to expand visuals, light, and ventilation. So we did all these operations of just opening spaces, amplifying the openings from between the different rooms, understanding the space as a sequence. Both sides, you can see the street from the other part of the plot, from where you have like a small studio. This is like a productive house, and the people here work and live in the same place. And then adding this layer of a new material in order to have all this storage space, and also this metal structure that allows vegetal pergola, a vegetal shelter that's going to make a shadow in the summer months. And these are some images of the work when we finished in 2017. To see this idea of the permeable spaces as a sequence, this idea of a non-specific space. You can decide where you want to put furniture, how you want to live. We just propose a structure, an open structure. So you define spaces with these frameworks, but you don't define spaces with a permanent use. Of course, the kitchen and the bathrooms are always permanent, but the other spaces are just empty space and connecting rooms. Also, of course, we recovered, we unveiled the walls, the ceiling, we recovered the original involvement of the house. And then we placed this rope here that was just a very light structure in order to permit the growth of this vegetal structure that now it's like giving this very nice shadow on summer. And since in winter we can have light through, because it's a caducifolian vegetation. Another house with the same idea that we just finished some months ago. It's in another neighborhood in Barcelona. This time, as you see, it's in a neighborhood, it's close to the mountain. It's more like some kind of a garden city, I mean, with a lot of small houses with gardens, etc. But this was a very old house, which was a very not in a good moment. It was all the part that we decided to maintain was the facade, okay, the street facade, the main facade, and these two two floors. And then we decided, we had very high floors, we decided to make this strategy of adding a new space, but modifying the section and adding a new structure, a boot structure that would not increment the height of the house in order not to act in the foundations. This is the process of the construction. We did this first at this demolition process of just a part of the house, and then we put this metal structure, and then this is the CLT boot frame structures, the new slabs that just were. This is the pavement. This is the ceiling. This is the only material that is just finishing the floor and the ceiling. Okay, as you see the different levels of the house, of course, we covered the party walls. We also left all these marks of the time, these holes, everything that we just found that was important for us to express the history of the house. And then in the center of the house, we made like a big patio. It was like a big permeable space that it's covered for, of course, for winter and for rainy times, and it gives like a very it improves the ventilation, the lighting, and of course the visuals of the space. Now, and everything just goes around this inner patio. This is like the idea of the project, with these two structures, the new structure and then the old one, and inside, at the intermediate space, it's this empty room, like an inner patio that works like also as a winter garden and a greenhouse. This is the facade. We just refurbish a little bit and leave it what we found, and this is the back facade. As you see, we made another level, and the idea is that you open everything in the ground floor, and you have this idea of extension between the garden and the ground floor, as you see in these pictures. The house is organized like with 5 spaces, which are the same spaces but with the same surface but with different volume. We play with the height of the spaces, and they are just turning, articulating around this inner patio. This patio that also brings light to the ground floor through this structure, and then a patio that, as I mentioned, in winter you can close it and it works like a greenhouse, but in summer you can open and you just have this cross ventilation through all the house. So it's a very permeable house, and it has this climate strategy that works with different seasons. This the new rooms are like understood like a book, wooden boxes, and the idea of a garden house that in the different levels, in the ground floor, but also in this inner patio, like a winter garden, and always in these intermediate spaces. So another project that we are just starting the works at this moment. Actually, it's one of the first competitions that we won in 2016. It's an old competition, so it took us almost 6 years to start work. In Barcelona, we're very slow. We won these competitions. This is the competition was about to rehabilitate and extend an old house from the beginning of the 20th century. This was a house for artists and some different uses in the first years of the century. And then we won because we saw the opportunity to improve a connection between these 2 streets that were separated with this, I don't know, like 7 meters distance. We saw this was an opportunity to make like a path or a passage to reconnect these 2 streets. So for us, the project, it's of course it's the extension of the house with this boot structure, but also for us it was very important this connection, this urban connection, which would improve the conditions of the public conditions of the neighborhood. So when we started developing the project, we felt it was always, we work with the same ideas of understanding the permanent space or the permanent uses in the old house, no, like a very working with this idea of inertial walls and like having this very climate control with these walls, no, and everything is one more permanent, and then this light structure that allows more ephemeral uses, no, temporary uses, provisional, etc. And in the middle we have like this these facilities and this vertical circulation. So it's a very clear scheme, and it worked. And this was the idea of the project. And of course, this understood like some of layers that were very, we define the connections and we define everything and the relation between the different buildings. But we were supposed to start this work in March 2020. As you know, there was this big health crisis, world health crisis called coronavirus or COVID, and the work just stopped. And then the budget, we had like almost 3 million euros or 2 million euros of budget for this project, and just stopped. And then 1 year ago, last year, they called us, the municipality called us, and then they told us that we should do like a first phase of this project, but we only had like a very small budget, that we could not do anything about the new building, just to refurbish the old one. So we decided to understand, to make like a twist of the project, to bring another idea, another concept, and to propose like a garden. All the place worked like a garden, and this old space would be just a cover, but a part of the garden opened in order to have just a shelter or just a roof. But of course, there's with wind and rain going inside, water, etc., even with vegetation. But it was the first phase, and we had these structures that help to maintain this like structure, and were the structures that just will wait for the new wood slabs that will come on the second phase. So it's a very interesting project because it's a use of this intermediate time that will be this first phase of the project. Okay, it's an idea of just using this room like a space of the garden. Okay, and the second concept is the idea of infrastructure additions. No? As you see, when we introduce in a persistent space, we try to be very precise and be very minimal with the introduction of the new pieces of the infrastructure. In this project was a competition that we won in 2019, 3 years ago. It was this is the old center of Barcelona. I don't know if you are familiarized with that. This is MACBA. This is the Museum of Modern Art, and well, this is a Gothic center. Okay, Ramblas. So this building was supposed to be demolished at that time, and the brief of the competition was to build a music school in this building, in this plot, no, without the building. We analyzed the brief and the building, and we saw an opportunity to maintain some parts of the building. We thought it was not a good idea to erase the history or erase the present, erase that building, because we thought it could be reused. So we decided to make like a very precise demolition only in the center of the building in order to preserve the three facades and these old slabs that were just helping to maintain the facades in these parts. Okay, so we introduced a new structure, a wooden structure, light structure, in order again not to increase the height of the foundation, no, in order to just not to increase more or to be more in order to avoid works in the foundation at the end. And we introduced the idea of void space in the inside. Again, we introduced the idea of just having like a big patio that would become like a vertical circulation of light, of wind, etc., air, of course. And then we intervene in the roof, making the roof as a greenhouse, okay, in order to have more light in winter. So I think the project with these images explains the idea of this dialogue between the old and the new. Always these intermediate spaces that are just explaining, no, the shape or the surface of the old building, and introducing new elements, no, as wood, etc. This idea of the staircase that is like a vertical patio, very permeable staircase, and the top floor, which has this skylight, no, and has a lot of well, actually it's very sophisticated, because in summer you can open to permit ventilation, and in winter it works as a climate glass house. And these are some images of the work as we maintain the building. We won this competition maintaining the building. We could do this small intervention of demolition, and we preserve most parts of the building with that. Now the works has stopped, but we hope that they will continue in the next year, we hope. Okay, and then another competition that we won some months ago in Barcelona, where there are a lot of these old food markets, very nice and very big markets, but the municipality is proceeding to renovating all these markets. And when this renovation is happening, all the places, all the stores move into a provisional space, okay? Because the activity cannot stop, but they have to move 3 or 4 years during the work time, okay? So this was the proposition that we well, actually we won this competition with this idea, because usually in all these provisional markets are working or are living for 3-4 years, and then they disappear. They just disappear, no? They never just something that it's like an ephemeral space, no? And we decided to make an idea of a permanent structure that will be and will permanent after the process of restoration of the market. So during the first years of using this provisional market, this works as of course as a food market, but afterwards it works as a new public space. It works as a pergola. So with this operation, we already are introducing some new stuff in this place that will be there forever, or at least for the we hope for a lot of years, no? So with this idea of thinking the time afterwards, no, what happens when this market doesn't have any need, we want with these ideas of proposing this structure that could be reused as an infrastructure for a public space. Okay, so with these different ideas that just explained really fast, these ideas of working with subtraction, trying to work with recovering original spaces, and introducing very small pieces of furniture or some infrastructure layers. we face all these projects of heritage with the same ideas. So I'm going to explain these 3 projects. The first one is a recovery of Jorba's Castle, a project that we started in 2015. Actually, Jorba is a very small municipality. It's here. It's almost 10 minutes from Igualada, which is like a big city, 1 hour from Barcelona. But Jorba is very small. It's almost only 200 inhabitants. It's very small town. But it's very important because this castle was in a very strategical place, because it was placed in a point that could just be like an observatory of a network of different castles of the territory. So it has like an importance for its situation, and it's actually cataloged as the top category of heritage in Spain. Okay, this is the Jorba's Castle. As you see, it's almost as big as the town. It's a very small town. This castle is quite big. But when we did the first visit in 2015, they told us, okay, let's go to see a castle. And we saw that just a mountain with 3 rocks. But we fell in love with this image, because for us, it explains the idea of the time, explains the idea of landscape. And we thought it was, our goal was to do the minimum things in order to maintain this image and to maintain this idea of topography, this idea of landscape. We didn't want to reconstruct the castle. We want to reconstruct the experience of walking around the castle, of walking around history, just a transition through history. Okay, this was very difficult to understand, and because the castle was underground. So of course we had to excavate and we had to move some earth, but we didn't want to, as a statement, we didn't want to reconstruct anything. This was the idea, just understanding the different phases, the different periods of time of the castle. And we thought the idea was to just walk through all these different platforms, recovering the original levels and walking through these platforms, just understanding history by just the levels, okay? And understand, every time trying to link these levels with the landscape. And 2017, we had the opportunity to do these first works with a very small budget, very small budget, and almost more than half part of the budget was on the excavation works. So at the end, we had to work at the same time with the archaeologists, and we reused all the material that was found in the archaeological work. So we work with sand, with earth, okay, with all this land. We decided to just replace all this earth that we just moved, no, that we just kept obtained from the excavation. We move it here in order to make these platforms. So it was easier for the workers just to go, no, instead of going down to put all the earth in the bottom of the castle. We just replaced in the nearest part, and we did all these platforms in order to have a better accessibility. And then, well, this is like the section that shows all this, the part that we recovered, and the new stairs, of course, and the idea of just getting through this top part and just recovering the viewpoint. We finally introduced these wood structures, also these metal profiles, in order to just mark the visitable area, okay, with a rope. Very simple, very high-tech details, okay. And this is the project, no? Just putting a few pieces of wood in order to help to facilitate the entrance, and just to mark with this wood the line of passage. This was the first phase that we did on 2017 with just these stairs, and just to have this look away here. Okay, this is some images of the work when we finished. I think it's nice because it looks that it was there before our intervention. So for us, that's nice. No, when we think of an invisible actuation, an invisible intervention. Now we are going through the castle with this sequence. No, the first steps, and then the second one, as you see here, just almost inserting these stairs in the mountain, and then just facing the castle at this moment, just walking, turning around. We just separate a little bit from the rocks in order to maintain the distance, no, from heritage, and also to just leave like a pass for the water, no, in order to just leave the water run through these 10 centimeters, and then we just reach the top floor and then just recover this view. 2 years later, in 2019, we had the opportunity to continue the work and to just continue the project and continue the second phase. Okay, so in the second phase, it was like a biggest project with a bigger budget, not a crazy budget, but bigger than the first phase, and we had the opportunity to we found all this like old chapel from the 12th century, and we decided to maintain it and to recover it. But since there was some very nice drawings in the walls, and the archaeologists wanted to keep working, we just decided to make like a light structure to keep water outside the church. No, it was like a ephemeral structure in order to allow the archaeologists to work in the next years. Okay, so we reused all the material we found in the excavation again, rocks, earth, everything. We did these cyclopean walls, and with very artisanal textures. Okay. And then we introduced this light roof, light structure that it was separated, no, from the rocks, from the church, so you can read, no, the different times of history, the different structures, of course. And if you need to take out this in the future, it's very easy, because it almost doesn't touch us. No, it's just very like something that's very polite. No, it's something that just that's the function of keeping the water from outside of this space. But it's a very light structure. It's very easy to take out in the future if it's needed to. But also, I think it's interesting because it remembers or it helps to understand, no, how it was the space, and makes the possibility to do some acts here, or I don't know, something going on here. This is the project as we finished it in last year. This idea of just finishing this passage through the different periods of the castle. Okay, maybe hopefully we will continue the work maybe in the future. But now I think it's nice that you can recover, you can walk through all these spaces, and you are able to link with landscape, and also to understand the history of the space of the castle. Well, these are some details, no, and the different textures that we recovered, no, the original pavement, and then all the stairs that we placed, and this the roof, like all wood and polycarbonate plastic. And of course, we had to be very precise with the geometry. We couldn't prefabric this roof. We had to do it on site, so everything was cut there. Okay, it was nice work, but And these are some images of the work finished last year. As you see, all these very nice drawings from the 13th, 14th century, and the archaeologists are wanted to keep working inside. So this is just a shelter and something. It's it also marks the landscape, and it gives you a new relation, no, between the past and the present, no? And it's something that well, it's nice because we don't have any lighting, artificial lighting here, so we needed to have like this very permeable roof, no, to have a natural light inside. As you see, everything was underground before our activation. Everything, it was only like a mountain. No, we moved a lot of earth and a lot of rocks to do this work. And then at the end, we just placed this metal railway, no, in order to explain the limits of the original wall. Okay. At the end, I think this is the most interesting idea, no? Because when you go through the castle, you just do this visit, you happen to understand the meaning or the origin of the castle. No, it was a place to control and to like a look away point of the territory. So we can have this link with territory and history, and we can understand the importance of the position of the castle. For us, it was more important this experience than to recover a form or to recover or to reconstruct some parts of the castle, like I don't know, something that's not like a fake. We don't want to do that. Okay, we moved to another project, also a recovery of a medieval tower from the 14th century, or 13th, 14th century. In this case, the project started since this structure also is cataloged with the top category in Spain because of the importance of the situation. It was a defense tower, defensive tower, and this works here. It's very singular in Catalonia, so it was very like the top classification of heritage in Spain. And when we first visited this tower in 2015, it was about to being demolished because, well, since it was this in this municipality, there were some earthquakes over the last years, and there's a lot of storms, a wind, everything. And actually, in 2016, 1 year later, before or 1 year after the first visit, this part fell down. So it was on the papers. It was everything was very urgent to make a project to maintain this part of the structure. So that was our commission, to maintain or to preserve that structure. But we thought it was an opportunity to do something else, to, again, as the Jorba project, to propose something that could not only maintain the structure, okay, that was our commission, but to improve a new use, a use to recover the original experience of the castle, of the tower, the experience of heading through this top level. It's 15 meters from the ground. So we decided to introduce a staircase inside that would help maintenance of the tower, but also it will allow visitors to go to the top floor and to recover the relation with the territory. Okay, so work started with the archaeological research, and we thought that the plan was a rectangular tower, only 5 per 3 meters, very small. This is the pre-existence. This was the proposition that the engineers gave us. I mean, just put some metal structure in order to help articulate, no, to stabilize this tower. But we propose this. We propose to introduce a new structure, a wooden structure in this case, that would recover the original trace of the tower. So we do another thing with this operation. We stabilize the tower. We allow the introduction of a staircase in the center, and we recover the volume of the original volume of the tower, so people from the outside could feel like a virtual volume of the old tower. And it's something very nice that this was an old stone wall, no, almost 1 meter or 80 centimeters of stone wall, and now we reinterpret this structure with a very light wooden structure, so you can walk through the former stone wall. So you understand the dimension of this space by walking through the space. It's a very powerful experience. So we tried to be very precise with the original levels. We wanted to put like 3 intermediate levels, so you can go down and you can take a look to the landscape, to the territory. But we wanted to recover this original level, so we had to do this very precise work of placing the new structure and searching the correct module of every floor. And at the end, it was very simple. So it's nice to understand that the new structure and the old one matches, no, in these precise points. These are the 3 levels: the foundation level, the circulation level, the intermediate level, and the upper circulation level on the top. The introduction of the staircase in the middle, in the center, and then these are the points that connect both structures. Some details of the new staircase, and finally the first staircase that just well, it's something that hides, no, from people. You need a key to open the first staircase, and then just go down and then just go through the others. That was the idea, just facilitating people to have this connection, or to recover connection with the territory, and also allow people to see through the tower. So that's why we wanted to do something that was very permeable. We don't want to introduce a concrete structure or a brick structure. We wanted to work with something light in contrast with the stone, but also in order to maintain the original image of the tower. So people from the visitors from outside could still see the ruins, the pre-existing ruins. Now we're going to see some images of the work. We finished this work 2 years ago. Well, I think it's nice, this space, because it explains, no, with this fracture, no, this just a ovoid space between the 2 structures. And these rocks that we found on the excavation process, we just left them there, just showing all the material that we found during the process, no, not throwing anything, just leaving in there in order to explain all the materials as heritage as well. This is the first stair, and then this idea that just explained you before, the idea of being inside the stone wall, no, just inhabiting the wall. So it's nice because these frames that connect or frame, no, the original tower, the original structure, but also the landscape, the territory. So since we go to the top, we can also touch the original tower, the original wall. We just maintain this circulation and we go to the upper level when we recover this point of view that was unable from the 15th century. And at the end, the tower just rooted in the landscape. It's another layer, and it's already part of the history. It's already past. So the last project, actually, it's 3 projects in one, and it's a process. It's a very nice story. It started in 2013. It finished 1 or 2 years ago. It all began with a very small intervention in Gironella. Gironella is a small municipality in the north of Catalonia. It's divided with by the Llobregat River. It's one of the most important rivers in Catalonia. And the old part of Gironella, the old center, which is this one, was being inhabited because, well, the people were not living there over the last years, no? Depopulated because all the new facilities, all the new equipments were placed in the new part of town, because we had this 20-meter distance that made this like this dysfunctional connection, and this was very difficult to accede to the old center. These street markets are just very not too crowded, no, and was a pity, no, that the old center was just being depopulated. So the mayor and the Commission of Heritage in Catalonia asked us to think about introducing an elevator, a lift, that would connect these 2 levels, the historical center and the new the modern level. We thought it was a very difficult project. I think it was one of our first projects. We were just beginning our studio, and it was very difficult because this is like an heritage situation with this old tower, etc. And actually, the mayor wanted to have the lift inside the tower, which was very difficult work. We had to excavate. So we decided to look around, understand the place, not only by understanding the tower, but understanding the whole situation, understanding also or looking through the industries. Also, this looking around and seeing these informal situations, no, informal heritage or this natural heritage. So for all these layers, for us, are the real context, not only the old tower. And then in this part of this path, this is called Calmetres path. It was a former access to the industries of the 19th century. Okay, this was some illegal storage space put there, and then all this space here was just residual space with cars parked and everything, and it was a very nice space just near the river. So we thought it was a nice opportunity to place the elevator in a specific point of this path in order to reactivate or to recover this path, because we thought that was the real project. That was the real project for Gironella, to recover this space, not the elevator. The elevator was an excuse to recover this space. Okay, so we proposed the elevator not in the original position that was proposed us, but we put it here. with this strategy, we extend this public space in order to have this center situation, and also we reach like the geometrical center of this plaza, of this square here, the old square. So we thought it was very nice because also it made a dialogue with the history, with the old tower, and also from the industries from the 19th century. So this new elevator, the elevator or the lift, helped to reconnect the history through material and through disposition. But for us, the most important goal was to improve the relation between these two public spaces. So this is the section. We propose a section that has two materials. The first 8 meters are just a glass box material, because we wanted to improve relation with public space. We wanted to improve relation. We wanted to see through the elevator to improve the look of the original wall. Okay, and then, since we were very worried about the maintenance of this glass in the top floors, we proposed a brick lattice without any kind of glass, just a brick, put it on the opposite side in order to let the air and let the light through. Okay, and also we just open this only covers three sides of the facade, and we leave this facade open to see the wall during the path, or during the circulation of the elevator. Okay, we propose to do this work with 3 materials: a metal structure, a brick structure for the lattice, and of course a glass structure. All materials came from the same town or very close. We work with local workers and local materials. These are like a catalog of the materials, starting with the rocks, the steel structure, brick, glass, and also the trees. For us, the trees are another very important layer. Okay, as you see, we have this open in this monument of this wall, and this is the construction. Again, like a prefabricated structure in 3 phases, and then we started to put this lattice of brick lattice, very simple, and this is just finished. This is like finished. Okay, people, when we were working here, asked us, okay, when are you going to finish it? When are you going to paint it? No, it's okay. It's like this. It's finished, because it doesn't need any kind of maintenance, and it's been there for, I don't know, almost 7 or 8 years, and it's as good as the first day. It was like a joke, because when people saw that, they always ask us when we were going to finish that facade. And we said to them, no, it's almost already finished. And this is the idea of having this permeable visual from the bottom of the elevator. Okay, some images of the work. We see this permeable and very transparent view, but from the other side, we didn't want to have a glass structure with reflections and everything. We wanted to do something more dense from the long view. The relation with the tower, the relation with the industries, and the starting point of a new public space with this position. Okay, the relation with the party walls of the different river and the roofs, this permeable texture, and the idea of just placing in a very specific point that doesn't bother any kind of space of the kilometers path, and also understanding the elevator as a sequence of these towers. This idea, the recovering of this corner that, as you remember, there was the original space of this, or place of this storage. So I think it's also nice, to recover the corner of the wall, and just this image of the vertical structure. So this project was a very successful project for this small town. It really working a lot. It just improved the connection between these two levels, these two neighborhoods. And since we finished this commission, we had 2 more commissions, and actually it was one commission in the old center and another one in the down part. So for us, it was very nice to have continuity, because our project was not the elevators, it was the relation, or improving the relation between the 2 parts. So with this idea, I think that it expands, or it extends the idea of the project, no? In order to recover the old town and the relation with the modern part. So we were taught to think about recovering or to reusing this old chapel that was just just abandoned for the last years, and nothing. There was no facilities, nothing. It was almost a storage space for the town. Okay, had a lot of problems, water, etc. So we decided to do very small interventions just to uncover everything, to recover the original chapels, etc. And to take out this translucent glasses, and in order to introduce the street inside the chapel, and the chapel in the street, no? In order to have a new relation and more light, of course. So we proposed to do like a transparent wall facade. We had to increase, of course, the structure. Okay, and we introduced this very small piece of bathrooms that could just allow to facilitate for the different activities. This is the idea of the different interventions in the facades and in this space for the bathrooms. And this is the project. This is just a space for a multi-purpose space for different uses. It actually works as a cultural center for performing arts, so cinema, music, theater, dance, etc. No, different situations. And the idea of bringing the street inside of the space, and bringing the space inside, outside from the street. Now, breaking these walls between exterior and interior. Okay, just with these details, and a curtain that's very helpful, because it allows, in sometimes when you need to dark the space, or you need more privacy, just a curtain. Very small or very few decisions, and very small, very low, few materials. Okay, this is the space as we left. These bathrooms. Okay, these are new facilities, because we needed to introduce some air renovation in order to for the normatives, and we put it here, very integrated in the floor. We were asked to put a wooden floor in order to be able to work like a dance school or theater, to practice, etc. For us, this is a very nice relation, no? And from the outside, you can see the activity, you can see heritage. No, it gives you the street, increases the section. It's something that's very nice. Oh, and also the facade of the house, it's almost participating to the interior. The wooden box of the bathroom, the idea of introducing this domestic sphere inside the heritage, and just this works of the curtain. No? It gives you different possibilities. Okay, so the last intervention I'm going to show you is already the first idea that we had when we first visited the Gironella, and we decided to place the lift on that point. Actually, we had the commission of transforming this space into a new public space, no? And the idea was recovering the relation with the river. So we work with this material, this pavement, the old pavement that was kept in a storage, in a local storage. We replaced this old pavement from the old center without joints in order to allow the greenery grow through. And then we just proposed these green surfaces, no, in the river and in the wall, and a concrete pavement in the center in order to allow the continuity of the street, and also some emergency cars. Okay, so that was the project. This was the construction process. And there was a very nice moment when we just removed all the fence here and we recovered the relation with the water, no, more light, more. Okay, so this is the proposal. This is the proposal, and we left some banks around just to propose some connections and relation with the river. And then it's nice that people started to use the place with different ideas, and of course improving the relation, just getting very close to the river. And I think it's a nice story at the end, because a place that almost 10 years ago was like a residual space, a backend space, now it's one of the most popular spaces in Gironella. And actually there's this music festival that's called Calmetre RWU. It's Calmetre Lives. It's the history of the space that it's been there for the last years. So people have understood this space. They have just understood the great opportunity of having this space in the relation between the old center and the river. And for us, and we finish with this image that explains that this very small intervention in a heritage context could be the starting point of a sequence of operations of unveiling landscapes. And also it helps to link the past with the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Carlos. I think we have time for 5 minutes for some questions or comments, whether for the public or from the questions and or chats. In the meantime, I would like you, Carlos, to talk a bit about this. Your intervention within the heritage and all these preservation projects. I think this is something interesting because they are generally seen as limiting projects that provide some limitations for or constraints for the architecture. I'd like you to elaborate a little bit more on what do you think of, well, actually those constraints or those limitations actually are the essence of your project, and then how would you probably react to something would be the opposite of this, a project where there's no context or where there's not such a strong loaded environmental context, even whether cultural or whether in terms of preservation.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think it's a nice point, interesting question, because well, I believe that there's always a context. Maybe sometimes we work in a place that we don't have this history or that context as this, but you can always find a context. You can always find a relation with the nature, or a relation with history of the place, a relation with the people. If you want to find a context, or if you want to find a sequence, I mean, we work with the idea of sequence. We understand that with our work is just a moment in the time of in the history of a place, and we are sure that in some years from now, an architect are going to rebuild or to reuse our work. So as we are rebuilding or reusing the works from others. So we are just a part of a sequence. So I think there's always a context. And of course, as you mentioned, constraints are very helpful in the process of project, because it allows us to work or to improve a project with few materials. No, when we work with low budgets, the solution is working or reducing the materials. So maybe 1, 2, 3 maximum materials. No, this case 3 materials. In the case of the Torre Merola, 2 materials. No, the foundation and then the boot structure. I mean, trying to reduce or to put to the minimum elements as possible. Constructions are always good in architecture. So if you don't have any, you can decide, you can insert some constrictions. I think also some rules or some ideas that we are working in other projects are also constrictions. So I think we're not worried about that. I think, well, of course, there's a lot of good examples of architecture that does a work with this small budget, or this very or all these interventions that I showed you today, or at least the built interventions, because as you say, that the competitions that we are winning at this moment maybe are another step, bigger projects and more sophisticated in a way. But in terms of heritage, for us, it's important to show the place as we found, and just to manage to do the less things in order to help accessibility or facilities, etc. But we don't want to reconstruct. At least we think it's like a fake. I think it's more honest to explain the place, to improve the experience, and to introduce the minimum elements that allow the new habitability.
We have a question here in the lecture room.
Yeah, are you able to hear me if I speak like that?
Sorry?
No, you probably can't hear me. Maybe you can repeat it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you.
Okay, I'll just say it. So, very much appreciate the sensitivity of the work.
Thank you.
Yes, I wonder if you could speak about the dialogue that you must have with a team of engineers as well, because so many of the projects are, as you said, very polite, and in order to achieve that, it's almost invisible, where you make connections and sometimes support existing structures as you did. But maybe speak a little bit about that for us and your kind of dialogue and relationship with that process.
Okay, that's a good point as well. Relation with engineers and the clients, and it's tough sometimes, because these solutions that seem very easy are very they need hard work, because well, as you may imagine, what seems very simple or very minimal requires a lot of a process of improving that. No, I mean, first we come with idea, and then if we just listen to all these external collaborators, and everyone has a solution and everyone has an idea, it would become like a monster, no? And then we have to, of course, we have to understand all these ideas, and we have to proceed that in our project. And we have to understand that the project has to be the minimal materials and the minimal shapes, and very simple. Well, we like that. So at the end, it's a dialogue. I mean, first maybe we had all this information, no? It's like a storm of information, and then we explain our ideas. We explain this like a brief. We want to do that. I mean, we think that with this intervention or with this structure, we can help, or we can tell. And then the engineers or the, I don't know, or the client, most of the time they understand it and they like it, and okay, let's do it. And then it's our responsibility to finish that work, and to but I mean, this was one of our first works, and when I remember when we were finishing, since we left almost all the facade with any glass or something, the rain came inside, and people tell us, "You're crazy. This is not going to work. There's an elevator inside." But we thought, okay, but the water will not reach the circuits. No, I mean, we need to have an open structure in order to be a very light tower, and also with these holes that we have on the with the brick lattice, it allows the wind, so it doesn't make any resistance. Okay, so the structure can be very light because it's very, very light. I mean, if we did that with concrete or with glass, the structure would be the double dimension, because it would be very tough and would be would make resistance of wind, etc. So we explain that. I mean, we say, okay, maybe sometimes you will have a problem. I don't know, every 5-6 years. Maybe sometimes if it rains a lot, maybe that day you will have to stop the elevator. Okay, but what are you, in the other hand, what are you winning with that? You're winning that you have a very nice element, and it's cheapest, and then very light, and you see through. You have a lot of things. You win a lot of things. So it's like a balance. At the end, our work is balance. Of course, when we go like with radical. I mean, I mentioned that we were polite with heritage, but I think as well that we are kind of radical with the ideas. No, I mean, with this roof of polycarbonate or the structure, we propose this very radical ideas, but at the end we try to make very clear solutions. So it's a compromise between us and the clients and the engineers. And then when we finish the project, not the work, the project, we talk to the engineer and we say, okay, can we do the same structure but with smaller sections? And they say, oh, okay. And then always we can go a little bit smaller sections that was planned. So at the end, we try again to reduce material or to reduce sections in order to have more light structures and more light elements. I don't know if I respond your question, sorry, but I think it has to do with a dialogue. I mean, the engineers are always trying to, of course, to explain the experience and to show their knowledge, and of course it's very helpful for us, but we try to use that knowledge and to use it for another thing, not to just, okay, we're not designers, we're architects. I mean, we're not just deciding the color of a thing. We are deciding everything, no? The material, the structure, everything.
We have one question from the chat, and we have another question from the audience in here. So Professor Bonder from the chat says, great work. I would like to ask you about and to reflect on some issues. It seems that there's some desire and clear attempt to see the work as a continuity with the past, but also a way to establish multiple layers of architectural conversations. So the question is, if you could reflect or describe for you what's this term of memory, how do you address the idea of memory? And if you find there's some relationship among your work and the work of previous maestros like Elias Torres, Toledo, and some other projects in Spain that you are well familiar with.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, of course. I mean, as we define our work or the architecture as a sequence, we are part of a sequence of a tradition in Barcelona, Catalonia, Spain, Europe, the world. I mean, of course, we are not inviting anything. We're not the first ones, of course, not the last ones. We are part of a tradition, and yes, I think it's a nice compliment, a nice question, because we really appreciate the works of all these architects that you mentioned, Elias Torres and more. You can go, I don't know, Jujol, Gaudí, of course, and more recent, I don't know, a lot of architects that have been working with vernacular architecture in our regions, and also contemporary architects, of course, in friends of us, no, that we respect a lot. So we are part of a sequence. We're not. I mean, we don't want to be. We don't need to become anything. We just work. Okay. And the first question was about the history. What
the concept of memory? How we describe?
The memory.
Memory.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. For us, memory. It's not the. I mean, it's in the. Of course, it's in all the works, I think, because since we try to live the materials like naked, no, in the houses, of course, and I mean that's memory, no, because it's like a picture of the different times of the house, or we don't want to we don't want to recover, or we don't want to recreate memory. Okay, we just find or leave the memory that we found in the castle of Merola, the Tower of Merola. We left the rocks that we found in the excavation. Okay, we left them there as something that we found, and we reuse it as to make like a limit of the intervention. Okay, that's memory. I mean, that's a material that was was used for the construction of the tower, and fell down over the last years and for the earthquakes, etc. But I think for us it's more important the experience, and maybe experience is also memory. Okay, but for us it's more important the experience that connects the history, the past, and the future, or the present. Okay, this elevator. It of course it works with memory because it helps to recover Calmete's path. Okay, and that was a path from the 19th century, but it just the memory is there. I mean, I don't know. Maybe sometimes we intervene with these elements like memory or heritage by not doing anything, by leaving the place as we found, just cleaning a little bit, okay, but not recreating anything. We don't want to reconstruct. Okay, I think that's the difference. No? We don't want to reconstruct like a shape, not to understand how was the tower or how was the castle. No, maybe for us, memory, it's something that's a layer that's underneath everything. No, in the materials for us are very important. Materials, no, to see them, to touch them, for us is very important. The physical experience is very important. That's why almost in all projects, in the tower or in Jorba's castle, even in Gironella, almost, if you could touch the wall, if you could put the arm over the elevator. No, but I mean it's open. So this idea of just living this open relation between the new structure and the existence. So, I mean, that's kind of memory for us, to allow to touch something, and with this operation, people just maybe take another look to something that they saw all their life, but never realized it was there.
I think it's nearly 1 a.m. in Barcelona, but I think we have time for one more last question. Let's see if we have a question here in the audience.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. If you could say a few more things on how you decide the right context for vertical circulation and local materials. You are, as you say, very polite in these areas.
Could you repeat? Sorry, the question.
Yes. Yeah. How do you decide the right contexts for vertical circulation and local materials?
Okay. You mean the position?
Yes.
Well, I mean, yeah, we don't have any method on that, I think. I mean, that's something, but we try to work, or I think our work, it's quite methodic since we start, but the first decisions happen to be more, I don't know if the word is correct, more intuitivo.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
Intuitivo, Ruben?
intuitive. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Intuitive, that's perfect. Yeah.
Intuitive. Okay, sorry. I think the first decisions have to are related with the first visit of the site. When we visit a site, our first intuition is very important. Of course, then maybe we change the idea. Okay, but sometimes the first decisions are the strongest decisions, and then we go through a process, of course, of developing this project and being very precise with the structure, with the materials, everything. With the materials, yes, the materials, of course, they are all decided by a logical, by a logic, no? Maintenance, price, weight, I don't know, textures. I mean, we analyze all the materials, no, the nature of the materials. But the position of this elevator or the decision of the tower, etc., it has something to do with I don't know, something that's immaterial, something that you felt that in the visit, and of course, and then we can explain it, and it's something rational and something logical, no? But it's something that we have to fill in the place. So for us, it's very important to visit the places. Always, we start the work by visiting maybe even 2 or 3 days until we reach this first intuition and these first ideas. Okay, and then of course we work with structures, materials, and everything. But I think yes, our work has these 2 moments. No, the intuitive as a competition as well. It's the same. When we do competitions, always we have like an intuitive idea. And then if we kept that idea until the end of the project, sometimes we are successful, because the first ideas sometimes are the great, the big ones, the the best ones.
Okay.
It's not something that we could analyze. It's not something that we could put it into a methodical way of explaining how we decide the things. No, of course it's something rational. We want to place things that in a context that leave a lot of empty space, or you take care of the point of view, or I don't know.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. Well, thank you once again for spending the night with us. And thank you very much for your time. It was great to have you here and to have the chance to listen to you talking by yourself about your project. And thank you very much. And I hope the next time you can just visit us in person as be with us.
That would be great. That would be really nice. I really had a nice time talking with you, and thank you for the invitation. And hopefully in future or not too long in the future, and quite I don't know, in the meantime I could visit you. That would be really nice.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.